It's a nice show and a lovely show to listen to. A lot of winner we get from it, and a lot of money we win up here off that show. So I give Colin Blair a special shout out and his team for having such a wonderful show going on YouTube, so people from all over the world can come and listen.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the midweek Open Gate Show. Let me first apologize for the mix-up with the Kingston and Portmore races, which I had mentioned that it's the 1,000 and 2,000 guineas. My apologies if it has caused any issues towards fans that listens to the Open Gate Show. First of all, I should commend the Open Gate Show for selecting winners of both races, as well as highlighting the possible runner-ups. Run Julie Run ran as expected. It's a possibility that the connections weren't serious in the Thornbird, hence that brilliant display in the Portmore. As a horseman, I would have done the same, because I'm thinking of the 1,000 guineas in a short time. So why would I want to push all out for both races? And I figure that's what Ian Passard did with Run Julie Run. My point was made on the Open Gate Show concerning Fast and Furious Links, that it was likely that she was not all that serious in the two starts this season and was geared for this Portmore race. She ran well, but was no match for Run Julie Run. Jason Acosta's two horses, Bazinga and Come Home to Me. Bazinga didn't show up, and one must expect, being a filly, chances are they can bounce. Well, she will be in the 1,000 guineas come June the 1st, and let's see what happens. Come Home to Me was outclassed, in my opinion, and it shows that both horses from the Jason Acosta stable ran in fully focused in the Thornbird, hence they came first and second. The Kingston had future interesting times ahead, yes. Winning as expected. Now this is a colt and can take much more workout and is less likely to bounce than a filly. It was argued that Kevin Foster rode outside of the instructions that Jason Acosta gave him. What I can say as a horseman and a trainer, I'm not a jockey, but I figured that's what happened with Kevin Foster. If the horse is pulling, why must you pull also? Chances are a leg can hit another leg, all sort of things. So he let him go, not ridden, but let him go on his own and then try to relax him after. It's the only thing to do. He won convincingly. Yes, was coming back a bit in approaching the winning post to Anthony Nunes' horse. But he won well, and I'm sure Jason Acosta will have it in tip-top shape to win the 2,000 guineas come June 2nd. The runner-up, the Anthony Nunes horse, Captain Sparrow, did well, and the Open Gate Show expected he to finish in front of stable companion Crown Chaser. Captain Sparrow surely will get a mile and beyond, and I'm expecting Captain Sparrow to be the danger to interesting times ahead. Crown Chaser, yes, could improve on that run. A bit disappointing, but I was expecting that he would finish behind Captain Sparrow. I felt at least for the Kingston race. Absent was Patrick Lynch, J. Speed. We all know Patrick Lynch, when he has a good horse running in the classics, they always perform well. And I think it's a wise move, because I'm not sure J. Speed is fully fit. I think he's still green, and I'm expecting a good run on the 2nd of June in the 2000 Guineas. Don't expect more horses to be considered. Well, it all depends on how the top horses come out of both the Portmore and Kingston last week, especially the Portmore. Who else is out there? Well, whoever is working well has to be fully fit to come with a chance to dethrone those horses I just mentioned. As a horse working 59 and a minute, and even going 1:15 or thereabout, doesn't mean that that horse is fit, fully fit. For the classics, you have to be fully fit, and fit horses will run accordingly. Hence, that's why Philip Fiani has won so many classic races, and Anthony Nunes, Patrick Lynch, and let's say Jason Acosta. We must remember that there are horses that have potential, but because of the lack of proper training, they will go awry. I don't want to call any names, I don't want to knock anyone, but the facts are there. Our trio classics this season looks exciting at present, and the Open Gate Show hopes that all participants are issue-free so that we can have a good year. I must mention the upsurge of good riding, especially on Robert Halladine. So we have Tevin Foster, Reddish Roman, Rain Lewis, Robert Halladine, Omar Walker, Paul Francis, and to come, Philip Parchment. And in my opinion, I think these jockeys are more focused than before. And it's good. The opportunities are there. You put in the work, you get the rides. Surely it depends on the agent, but you deliver. The recent argument concerning the use of the whip in the stretch, it's a worldwide thing. Frankie Dettori, John Velasquez, Javier Castellano, etc., Rispoli, Pratt, and those guys, they all complain. Why not? Yes, it's an assistance to the horse. My opinion on it, you don't have to be striking a horse to death to win. And the Jamaicans here locally well, let me take it out. Some jockeys likes to be called wicked jockey because of the use of the whip. We've seen George Osang, Winston Griffiths, and others, including Emilio Rodriguez, use their hands instead. Jockeys are forgetting that its hands and heels are foremost. Neville Anderson, Sammy Eslop has their style of riding and mostly uses one of their legs to help them get the horse going faster or keeping the momentum going. Rules are rules. Jamaicans don't like rules, unfortunately. The jockeys need to adjust their style of riding, and if the stewards are lenient on one, then the other are going to feel that how comes that one is getting away when the other ain't. So all have to comply, and we'll have good race riding. I'm hopeful that the current apprentices that are at the jockey school will understand and will adhere and come with some good riding skills. Our horse racing in Jamaica, regardless of what caliber it is, the excitement that they portray in a race are not much like what it was before, in the sense that even if they don't gamble and are at the racetrack, people love to see the excitement. Mixed with, yes, they're riding their horses that they wager on. The pick sixes and pick nines has done a lot for horse racing, for the promoter, being that quite a number of people are pledged to endeavor with the two pick sixes and the pick nines, especially when there's a monetary carryover. Gambling, well, they would say gaming, to make it look, okay, or, to temper down on the whole thing, just like how you'll have a household maid, and in an airplane, she's called an air stewardess. Yes, gambling is the most not raced, it's the most, it's the fastest growing industry. Yes, that is what I should say. Why? It's hard that your salary to overcome the various overheads, financial overheads that you have. So one would tend to do something. I'm talking even females, doing what they need to do to get the extra dollar to pay the bills and to buy food. It's a reality. The cash pot and all those sort of things, lotto and whatever you have out there, people tends to draw towards it with hopes. A lot of times, before post time, say an half an hour or hour, you see people merrily driving in as well as walking in to Caymanas Park. But after the last race, it's a different scenario on most people's faces. Most people will say, oh, I will never buy again, I'm finished with it, I'm done with it. And they can't wait to see the overnight and the race book for the next race card. It's a fact. We love our horse racing. I repeated that horse racing existed long before Canada, the United States, the other Caribbean countries, and most of South America, Jamaica, we had racetracks in every single parishes, everyone. Anyway, the Kentucky Derby was a very exciting one on two phases. One, the connections that won. Part of the entourage, we have veteran jockey Albert Bright Eye Kelly, a Jamaican, and he was he was much on a high, and it's glad to see. That's what racing brings. It's not only those who win $1 million at the pick six or pick nine or whatever, that joy, but it is plexed with various entertainment and various joy, various high. And Albert Kelly at that moment surely must be one of the happiest person in the world. Now, the runner-ups, the second and third horses. The first picture or video shows that both horses were bouncing each other. That's one. Number two, there's another video that shows the extended hand of Tyler Gaffalone, as if he was holding the reins of the Japanese jockey. That horse and you know, up to this morning, you can see where I would agree if they have disqualified Sierra Leone. Yes, both horses were bouncing, but the jockey did something. Regardless, some are saying that he was pushing off the horse. No, you can't use your hands to push off a horse unless it's, you know, it's, what do I say? Unless you're trying to prevent a disaster happening, or the horse falling or something like that. But they were battling for the last furlong and a half. Anyway, Tyler Gaffalone was called up by the stewards, and tomorrow, that's Thursday, he will be asked to explain what happened, and chances are he could get a suspension. I don't want that, but it's a possibility. I must emphasize that all the stewards that came at overseas at the racetracks are horsemen. As a matter of fact, majority of of society in the United States are animal lovers, and most of them knows about horses to some degree. Happy for the jockey, it was his dream from a kid, and the connections of that horse, you know, it is so fitting when a horse wins a big race, to see the joy that it creates. I can tell you, it's a feeling that nothing can compare to it. But you have to win. Our horses that would go longer distances, our older horses, Rough Entry, Atomica, etc. It's interesting to see on Saturday, June 1st, there's a 9 furlong 25-yard feature race to see who will compete in there. We have Big Daddy we have Big Daddy and those type of horses running in those races against, say, Atomica. And, you know, it creates a false impression of the greatness of a horse. Not saying if there was more competition that the horse would not, the winner would not have won. But nowadays, people base their opinion off stats. For example, LeBron James and Michael Jordan, that's a good example. Yeah, people will say on air, yes, LeBron James is equal, and some will say he's better. But The basketball players knows that there's no comparison. And we can see that if we see more of those games that Michael Jordan plays. Similar, she's a Manita. A lot of people are saying that's the best horse ever to race at Caymanas Park. If they say it's the best horse they see, well, I can understand. Because a lot of people just came into horse racing or still coming in due to the exotics that are there. Because it's easier to spend $5, $6, $7, $8, $10,000 buying the pick sixes than taking a chance and buying a horse. And more than likely, the conference will be as such in horses that I'm not going to pay much. So, it's like finding 3 horses and said, yes, these three horses are going to win. And they're going to buy them for $5,000. They rather bank those horses in the pick six and try to flood the other 3 races and hope that they will catch something. Similar, you buy a quinella or exacta, and that's what you're buying, that you say, no way, and that's all I'm buying. All right, you've been winning a lot, but then you say, if I can catch the quinella or exacta, I must then catch the I-5 or the superfecta. So you're swayed to go there, and then the probability of you losing is enhanced. While living in the States and been at several racetracks, I don't wager much. I love to ask questions, I love to look and see. And there are a lot of people who are on the straight course of just buying exactas alone. And at the end of the year, I would imagine that they comes out on top. There was a gambling seminar which I attended, and it was said by the host that the best bet to buy is an exacta or a quinella. And I've noticed in the total pool, the win, the place, the quinellas, the exactas displayed on the overseas races. The exacta always is on par on the win total. Sometimes more, just a little more, or sometimes just a little behind. Being strict is something that is not easy. For example, everybody wants to win the pick six. And from the overnight is out, you have a lot of people that have circled quite a number of horses in each race. As it approaches the eve of the race, they alter those selections, obviously because they can't afford it. And they take out horses and this and that. Yes, the winners are always there in each race. They just don't appear. They're there. If it's 6 horses, 7, 8, whatever. The winner, the runner-up, who runs 3rd, 4th, they are there. It's just to find it. Now, people blame themselves, oh, I shouldn't have taken out this horse, and I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't do that. I know a trainer that he wins the pick 9 and pick 6s a fair amount of time. He has a formula. He first find a bunker. And when he think that horse is a bunker, he find a race that he can carry 2 horses. When that is found, he find a race that he can carry 3 horses. So there's 3 races out of the pick 6. I hope you see the trajectory I'm trying to explain to you. The other 3 races, he finds one with 4 horses. And then he normally floods the other 2. I think he spends approximately between $2,880 to $3,600 or thereabout. And when he loses, he loses. Okay, there's another race meet coming up. But the mistake everybody is, well, not everybody, some people are doing is that they say, oh, I have to win. So they spread. It comes to 20,000, 25,000. Oh, can't afford that. They cut it down to 15, maybe still can't afford it. And then they will take out the winner of the race, more than likely. You have to set a budget and you stick that way. You have to have a formula. Find a banker, find a race that will carry 2 horses, and then a race with 3 horses, and there are 3 other races that you can decide on if you're going to carry 5 or 6 or 4 alone, whatever. That's the way to go. Practice what you preach. Well, I don't have any money really to gamble. And most times my show is 2 days before the race meet. And at times on the Friday there are changes, and even on the Saturday, unlike others. But I hope that the Midweek Open Gate show today will help you. Remember, you subscribe, you listen, you learn, you hear. It's highly possible you can win. Take care.